So I guess I get to introduce the head table. Some of these people I know, some of these people I don't.
Well, we have name tags, so you can
Well, we'll start with Dave Stock, thank you. Reverend Mary Stewart, Ernie Hardiman, and two P's. Actually, you want to finish? I gotta go eat too. Mayor Don McKay, our illustrious president, Mr. Richard Stein, Ms. Diane Stein, Greg Pye, Sharon Pye, my lovely wife, Ivy Francis, and Mr. Jim Francis. And thank you for coming. Nice to see you. And this is your head table.
I did forget to mention that Greg is our vice president, so. I made a few notes. I think we got about 10 pages here, so I won't be long. I need to take off my glasses to read. To me, it is quite an honor to be president of the Men's Club on this special occasion. To have a club survive for 75 years shows how dedicated its members are. Over the years, the club has been quite involved in the community. Since I joined, the club has grown to 50 members. We are very fortunate to have with us one of our founding members, Jim Francis. The club would like to thank Jim for donating a sound system to the Men's Club Hall this year. At this time, I would like to present Jim with a plaque and a small gift for his 75 years of involvement in the Men's Club. If anyone gets time, Jim can give you a history lesson on the startup of the Men's Club. Thank you, Jim, for being a charter member and being so involved in the club over the years. Now I'd like to call on Doug Charest.
The people getting this award are getting up in years, so I'll go to them rather than they come to me.
You better use the mic so everybody can hear you.
I can hear myself. We didn't really make this night for people that have helped in a lot of different ways. But when I moved here, Karen and I moved here in '85, we were too late to have anything at the sauerkraut supper. I can remember that being really round off. We got done curling and ran over to have some pork, and well, they'd already shut down. So the next year, Scotty McDermott got a hold of us, and we got put on the potato committee. And then about 2 years after that, Scotty bowed out. And about a year after that, they decided that they didn't want to have the sauna upstairs in the hall there anymore. So he's here tonight. And remember, Keith Waffley got us a heck of a good price on a great big propane hose. The fire department let us use it for 1 year. And the next year, I can remember Bill Wetlaufer come to me and he said, "What are we going to do about the potatoes? I think we can cut them at Quails." And I said, I imagine that'll work out all right. There was no sense in being frightened about it. It was honest. Anyway, since then, until last year, when I was lucky enough to have a hip operation, so Dwayne Krupp had to look after me. and we started cooking them up at the hall, or at the sauerkraut. Anyway, Bob Routley and his crew have used that back room at Brian and Cindy's for years, and Bob cooks the meat there. And my estimation is, if it wasn't for Brian and Cindy, I don't think we could run the sauerkraut supper. They just throw open their dining room and look after it. Anything that goes through that dining room is just the same as if people came down here. And the whole idea was we didn't want older people standing in line in the rain. Well, the worst of it is some of the younger people are eating up there too. Anyway, this is just a little memento for you guys to hang on your wall with some of your other stuff. And in appreciation for the fact that Cindy feeds you all the time.
Yeah.
Now I know this won't hardly hold up, but it's a customer copy for the English Parlor in Stratford for $100. Now I know at your prices you could eat there several times. But I doubt you'll have any, you might even have to add a few bucks.
Very much. Oh, that's not better. Now maybe you can hear me. If you don't hear me, don't maybe you haven't been special. I appreciate all the kindness and this little gift. It's been a pleasure to be here and to receive this. I should say at the beginning that most of you know that I'm officially and legally blind, so I don't recognize you. If I don't speak to you, just give me a poke and tell me who you are. It's been a lovely evening. The Rosemary and her staff have done a terrific job of serving us, and they deserve it. Thanks for that. The Men's Club has been a tremendous asset to this community over the years, and I'm proud to have been one of its founders. They've accomplished so much, and one of the things that's remarkable, as far as I know, and I think I'm right, they have never had and never asked for any kind of a grant, federally, provincially, or locally. They've done this all on their own hard work, and with their sauerkraut supper and their fish fries, they've managed to get along. And I also like to say the kind of things that they've said about me are greatly exaggerated. But, kind of give an old man a little shot in the arm to hear these things. You hear too many more of them, I'll start to believe them. That would be bad. The service has been terrific. It made me feel at home. This is the kind of service that gives me at home. So I've had all the service food brought to me, and I just want to thank everybody for all the kindness and the enjoyment I've had of being a member of the Men's Club. I'm happy to have been in the service. Thanks again very much.
Now I'd like to call on Ernie Hardeman for a few words.
Thank you very much, President Richard. It's indeed a privilege and a pleasure to be here tonight to be part of this this great occasion, and I want to say congratulations to Mr. Francis. for, first of all, taking the opportunity to make a speech, because he knew that the speaker after him was mediocre, so he kind of gave it to you. But what I think was most interesting about it, and I think that's very important this evening, is that it's possible, I can't say for sure because I wasn't there, but it's possible that the same person who thanked the ladies for the first meal was the same one that thanked him for the 75th year meal. So that is quite a feat, Mr. Francis. I also want to say congratulations to one and all in the room, because I'm sure that everyone in the room is either a member of the club, has been a member of the club, or is related to someone who is a member of the club and has been a member of the club. And as was earlier, there was some presentations for contributions made. I expect, likely, if the community came out and gave a reward to everyone who has contributed to make this club a success for 75 years, chances are it would be for everyone in the room. Now it's interesting because it's the men's club, so I noticed not everyone in the room. But that still doesn't change the fact that I'm willing to bet that if gifts or recognition was given for contributions made, that likely in most cases the lady would have done greater contributions to keep this club going. I know that to do this much, and the sauerkraut supper and so forth, to do that much without a lady driving the man, it will never happen. So I want to say congratulations. Oh, I also could apologize for being late. No, not late. Sit down again, Jim. I'm not late, I'm tardy. But I did start out in plenty of time, but I was in Toronto, I had to vote at 4:30. Now, to get from Toronto to here, doing my speed, I can usually make it in that time, but tonight it just wasn't possible. I tried very hard. I got no speeding tickets, but I did keep the motor running, but I couldn't make it here in time. So I apologize, but I do thank you for being a little tardy yourself, because I've never been half an hour late for dinner yet, where I still had an opportunity to sit down and have dinner with the people that started on time. So I presume you must have started a little late too. But anyway, I want to say congratulations and bring greetings from, not only from my colleagues at Queen's Park, but from all the people in the community of Oxford who have benefited from the 75 years of hard work and dedication to the community of Tavistock and area. On behalf of all the citizens, you have made this a better community for being there doing it. So congratulations to one and all, and thank you very much for inviting me to be part of your celebration this evening.
Thank you for your kind remarks, Ernie. Now I'd like to call on our good mayor and warden of Oxford County and say a few words.
Thank you, Richard. Indeed, it is a privilege to be here and help you celebrate 75 years. 75 years as a men's club, 75 years of service to community, 75 years of friendship, of fellowship, 75 years of coming together, always enjoying a meal, but then also having a component of education, of edification, of broadening the horizons, and understanding our community, understanding our world around. And that's a tribute. Certainly a tribute to all those who have taken on the responsibility of leadership to ensure that the next year our community still has the benefit of having a men's club here. And we as a community are the richer for the men's club and the 75 years that you've served here in part of our community. We can look around and see that benefit. The simplicity of fundraising, I think you discovered that in the beginning. If you feed people, they'll pay you. And you can turn your time into preparing food and people will buy that. Now you have funds to be able to invest in community. And you've always chosen such wonderful ongoing sustaining projects that really have helped build that. But I think as well, the interesting thing is as a men's club, it serves our basic need as people to have a sense of belonging, to belong to a club, to have that sense of responsibility one to another. Some of you, like Mr. Francis, have lived and been here your whole lives, but most have moved to the community and have been welcomed into the men's club and been able to establish themselves as being a part of this community through that club and that sense of belonging that it provides to you. It's a wonderful thing to have that, and then the mentorship that provides. And again, as community, we're only as strong as our families, as our people that are here. And that's a wonderful thing that the men's club has provided. The relationships, because I'm sure out of those friendships, many times in our lives when we're hurting, we need help. Because of those strong ties that you've made in a club format, there's someone you can seek out, whether it's Mr. Francis or many others over the years. It might be a marital challenge that you're facing, it might be a business challenge that you're facing, but there's someone there, and that's what a club does for you. So you're the richer for being a part of that as well, and I think that's a tribute to, it's not without commitment on your part, not just attending the meetings, but being an active volunteer, making that happen. It's also recognized that the giver is also blessed. In all the funds that you've raised and the community projects that you've undertaken, the help that's been given, I think as many volunteers testify, you always seem to get back so much more. And when I see some of you still volunteering at the canteen, at the arena, there's a certain sense in which you're encouraged and blessed by being able to be there and being a part of community and maintaining that richness that it provides. So do enjoy this celebration, and again, my thanks to your commitment to be part of the club, and then together as a club, how you've so enriched our community. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Don, and now I believe we have a couple of sister clubs here tonight. I'd like to introduce them. I think there's some representatives of the Optimists. Would those representatives please stand? And is there also from to the front here, and I believe there's representatives of the Optimist Club of Tavistock. No? Unfortunately, I guess some of the others clubs weren't able to make it either tonight. So now I'd like to call on David Stock to give us a brief or prolonged history of the 75 years of the men's club. I felt David was the type of person that should do it. He's been kind of our historian, and I felt I didn't have the experience to do this, as I'm a relatively young member of this club, and I think some senior members should be doing it. So I asked David if he would give us a bit of a rundown of what the club has done in 75 years. David.
Well, good evening. I was just coming through. I want to get the sound right before we start. Is that pretty good? I should mention, you might think I'm sitting here without a wife. Gloria is over there because she was too shy to sit at the head table. But, and I had a word with Diane and Sharon, and they were too shy too, but when you're married to the president and the vice president, then you have to sit at the head table. Now, I thought to begin with, we have some people here, Ernie and Don, who aren't maybe too familiar with the men's club, and there's other visitors here this evening as well. So I thought perhaps we'd just begin by a little explanation, or try to explain what this men's club is all about. And I thought in terms of a scout troop, comparing us to a scout troop. And if we compare ourselves to Boy Scouts, first of all, Scouts are encouraged to do good deeds. And of course, we in the men's club, we're doing good deeds in and around Tavistock all the time. Another thing scouts do, they build things and then they get a badge. And of course, we build things too. We recently built the Sauerkraut House. And before that, we built a wheelchair access for our building up there. And above all, we put a lot of money into building that new arena, which is just across the way there. So we build things just like Scouts. Now, often in Scouts also, if they put together a scrapbook, they get a badge. And I just want everybody to know, it's not here, but we have a very good scrapbook that has information on the men's club that goes right back to the beginning. So anybody that ever wants information on the men's club, we can give it to you. We needed that one time when we were talking to Revenue Canada. They wondered what kind of an organization we were. Now, Scouts also are told to love God and honor the Queen. And of course, we love God and we honor the Queen every time we have a meeting. Tonight we toasted the Queen, as we always do. And then finally, we're told that Scouts are supposed to help little old ladies get across the street. And I think it's true that we all help little old ladies to cross the street all the time. Just yesterday, I helped my wife across at the Five Corners. So you see, in some ways, our men's club is like a scout troop. But anyway, to get into the facts, and Jim Francis is the one that we learn all this information from, but the club started back in 1937, as Jim has mentioned, and at that time it was Tavistock's first service club. Any other clubs, they came somewhat later in point of time. And the first president was Norm Small. I think it was Norm. Mr. Small, anyway, he was a teacher in town. And Jim